Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another Theme Park Obsession video. My name is Dylan and thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. Today, as you can see, I'm hanging out at Disneyland and Universal Studios to give you an update on what's going on in the parks this week. So how about you and I dive right in. Oh yeah, the Curious George surface lot. Not much going on this weekend because, it's Sunday at the time of filming this, so all the crews are home enjoying the weekend. But as you can see, a lot of props over there in the distance, and of course a lot of lumber, flats. Those will probably be distributed throughout the park because they are continuing to build other Halloween Horror Nights mazes. We know that the Waterworld queue has gone up. They're still working on the Parisian Courtyard maze. Of course, they're still working on the maze downstairs by Revenge of the Mummy, but as far as the stuff here at Curious George lot, nothing too much has changed. I mean, I know they've been working a lot on this one. Got my spooky coffee, by the way. And as a reminder, these two mazes have yet to be announced by the company, so all is speculative until then. Also, everything else in the park hasn't been announced either. None of the mazes on either coast have been announced, so all is still a mystery. And as far as this site's concerned on this particular maze, by the way, this is the Jaws Revenge in 3D Music by Britney Spears maze. Nothing going on. I've just noticed that they've kind of reinforced these particular spots, which I'm thinking are going to be scare spots in the maze, where a performer stands and jumps out and scares you. Again, Universal has not announced what this one's going to be, and I'm not going to zoom in and try to find anything. They're going to announce it soon. I'm sure they will, so we could keep it a surprise until then. I mean, I'm guaranteeing it's going to be the Jaws Revenge in 3D Music by Britney Spears. I mean, I'd be kind of disappointed if it wasn't. That's going to do it at the Curious George lot, so let's head through City Walk and get inside the park to see what's going on with HHN and, of course, Nintendo. But wait, hold the phone. Before we head in the park, as I was editing this video, Universal Studios announced an all-new maze coming to Halloween Horror Nights on both coasts, here in Hollywood and in Orlando. And it's another classic Universal Monsters maze, this time Legends Collide, featuring the Mummy, the Wolfman, and of course, Dracula, all in one giant, terrifying maze. So yeah, I'm super curious to see the differences between the Hollywood version and the Orlando version. I'm really stoked to see that. And of course, our maze is going to have music by Slash, just like in years past. He's done all the classic Universal Monster mazes, so I'm ready for his soundtrack in this particular rendition. I think it's going to be really exciting because there's 3 characters in this one versus just one particular character. But how cool, our first announcement of the season, and I'm sure we'll get more announcements as the summer continues. We do not know any of the other attractions coming to Universal Studios Hollywood or Universal Studios Orlando. That is still all a mystery, but I did take a look at some of the other mazes being built inside the park, and yeah, I mean, things are kind of looking the same as far as the Parisian Courtyard maze and down in the lower lot behind Revenge of the Mummy. So it's going to get to the point where it's going to be really hard to see anything else once the facades are done. But thankfully, like I said in the past videos, the facades look fantastic, so I think this is going to be a great year for Halloween Horror Nights. And walls are still up around Production Central. Wonder what this is going to be. Fingers crossed for a tribute store. And with the power of editing, we've made it into the park. Yeah, it's going to be a very busy day today. Like I said earlier, it is Sunday, so a ton of people are like, you know what, let's head to Universal Studios Hollywood and have a fantastic day. The weather is really nice. Not too hot right now, but I know it's probably going to get a little bit warmer later on, so it'd be a perfect day to sit in the soak zone over at Waterworld. Won't do that today because obviously we're heading over to Disneyland after this. But let's go inside the Super Nintendo World store to see what kind of new goodies they have this week. Oh, look at this. They have a heat changing mug. So I'm assuming when you put hot water in it, you see Mario or whoever popping up from the green pipe or something. I really love these pins. You know how I always love pins. These are only $8 too. That's not bad at all. Oh, look at this. It's like a pin set. You get 4 for $22. That's actually a really good deal. The Nintendo merchandise is really good, and I can't wait for the land to fully open because I can only imagine what they have in store for all of the merch and of course the food. They probably have so much planned, especially like popcorn buckets and specialty like sippers and stuff. And since I'm here in the front of the park, I might as well mention that you could still get a lot of the Lunar New Year items at Hollywood and Dine, so if you're still craving some of those tasty treats, stop in over by Waterworld in the front of the park to have yourself a nice little pork ramen bowl or a tuna poke bowl or even a mango blue tea boba. And over here at Waterworld, of course, the construction fence is still up because they're building the Halloween Horror Nights maze. At least that's what we think they're doing, because in years past, this is where one usually goes. But as you can see, it looks like they haven't gone vertical just yet on the layout of the maze. So we'll keep an eye on it every single week. This one should go up relatively quick. And then eventually we'll start seeing some details, and we'll start kind of dissecting it to see what this one might be. And by the way, my friend Bree is joining me today. How you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good, yeah. You know, it's been busy walking into the park, but you know, that's okay. We're still gonna enjoy it here, and then we're gonna jump in the car and head over to Disney.
I'm very excited.
And you gonna change your Loungefly bag too, because we have the
No, but I brought 3 pairs of ears.
Okay, so there you go. So we can change them every couple hours. And this is your look at Super Nintendo World this week. A lot continues to happen on site, and look at that. The clouds have appeared on the highest point of the land, which is very exciting to see. Again, the crews are working night and day on this, and they're moving so fast. More piranha plants, looks like might be in the corner there. A lot of things are wrapped up, so it's kind of hard to tell where it is. The big ones are obviously the piranha plants, but there's one in the corner over by the tallest point. And obviously the all the coins are slowly starting to show up to the land. I can't wait to see all this in motion, because when you look at all the stuff from Japan, there are so many moving pieces to Nintendo World. When it's all put together and it's all moving, it really is something else. So I can't wait to see that here at Universal Studios Hollywood, since we have our own version of the Super Nintendo World. Cannot wait. And look at this over at Toothsomes Chocolate Emporium. Huge pieces of steel have gone up because they're working on the exterior. Eventually this will look very steampunkish, just like the one in Orlando, so super stoked. I don't know when this is supposed to open. They haven't officially announced when this is supposed to open, but maybe, just maybe, it'll open up sometime this year, maybe by the holiday season, which will be perfect, because I cannot wait to try some new tasty treats at our version here at Universal Studios Hollywood. Yeah, that's it for Universal, so let's jump in the car and head down to Anaheim. All right, we pulled up to Disneyland, and Bree and I were both saying, yeah, it's pretty busy. It's a little busier than we thought, because, you know, like, people are already filtered into the park. Don't mind my windshield, by the way, it's very dirty. I parked next to a sprinkler. Alrighty, we have made it to the Sticky and Friends parking structure. And Bree, what ears did you pick?
Bruno.
You picked the Bruno ears. Oh yeah, it matches the Loungefly pretty nicely there with the green on your ears. Yeah, those are cool.
And the green shirt.
And the green shirt.
Today.
Yeah, so perfect. Yeah, so far so good as far as weather-wise here in Orange County. It's pretty hot, but we're also surrounded by a bunch of concrete, so that's definitely not gonna help. But let's head inside the park. Actually, no, where are we gonna go? Should we take the monorail in the park, go through downtown Disney to check up on what's going on there?
Let's take the monorail.
All right, let's do it. And that way we can get a nice little bird's eye view into the Submarine Lagoon, because I believe they have water in the lagoon now. So yeah, let's cruise on through downtown Disney, take a ride on the monorail, and head inside Disneyland. All right, so we just got off the monorail and got a really good look at the inside of the Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage Lagoon. And yeah, it has water in it now. The bubbles are on, so they are slowly testing a lot of that kind of stuff. They haven't been testing the ride yet because a lot of the scaffolding is still in place, but I'm sure here in the next few weeks, the scaffolding will come out of the water and they'll be testing and cycling this ride and hopefully get this thing up sometime this summer. Made it inside the Candy Palace, and look at this, they got an Elliott Rice Krispie treat. And I also noticed these like massive cookies down here. They're $5.49. That's a big cookie. And one thing that Bree and I were noticing is that they have an item missing. And Bree, go ahead and tell everyone what that item is.
My chocolate covered pineapple.
Yeah, the chocolate covered pineapple's gone. Where did it go? That was actually a really good item. They have a pineapple cookie. But yeah, Disney, bring back the chocolate covered pineapple. It was so yummy. Alrighty, we've made it into Frontierland, because before we move on to our updates, we're gonna ride the wildest ride in the wilderness. Oh yeah, Bree, you ready to best remove them? Because you have to best remove your ears, yeah, and I think maybe the backpack, yeah. So much fun on Big Thunder Mountain. But next we're gonna check up on the Tarzan's Treehouse construction and of course all the happenings in New Orleans Square because they've been doing a lot of paving work. And then we'll look at some of the phantasmic infrastructure as well because a lot continues to happen here in New Orleans Square. What you got over here, Bree?
The thingy-majiggy for the show thing.
The thingy-majiggy, that's exactly what that's called.
The thing, it goes up and it...
The thing opens the thing and then the thing lifts up and then it has the things go that way.
And then the things do the thing on the thing.
Yes, and then there's a bunch of things that happen.
It's pretty much the coolest nighttime thing Disneyland has to offer.
Absolutely. No, but in all seriousness, I believe these hold a lot of the audio equipment, so they're working on all those that surround the entire river here. And then, yeah, all the work that seems to be, that was going on the stage seems to have wrapped up. Again, more equipment. Those look to be where the projectors are for the big water mist screens. Working on those. But things are wrapping up here because, yeah, in about like a week and a half, the show will be premiering for everyone for the first time in over 2 years. Yeah, look at this. It's gone. Yeah, doesn't that look weird? The connecting piece, the Tarzan's Treehouse, they ripped that out. Yeah, look at this. The big giant piece right here that sat in the center between the two pathways has been torn down. So it's back to like the OG Treehouse because before they built this, they built this when they did Tarzan's Treehouse, but before Tarzan's Treehouse, you just walked into Swiss Family Robinson's just from the front around the corner here. And yeah, they're taking all this out to alleviate some of the traffic because it is a very bad pinch point. So it looks like we'll be entering the new Treehouse from this vantage point again, like we did years ago. Yeah, what a trip to not see this giant piece here anymore. It's pretty wild. This is the first time I've seen it, and this is the first time you've seen it as well, right, Bree? Yeah, it's definitely, we have to get used to this. I'm sure they'll put some more shrubs or something here, some trees. But I think the goal here was to remove this bit because they wanted to just kind of axe the bridge and alleviate a little bit of the traffic because, like I said, yeah, this is a bit of a pinch point, especially when Phantasmic is showing. When Phantasmic is showing, it is an absolutely huge, overwhelming nightmare over here. So, yeah, I could see why they wanted to do this. And over here, look, they've pushed the fence up closer towards Pirates of the Caribbean's entrance, and they've revealed all the new stuff. And they've shaved back the planters, they've repaved this particular area, so it should be a little bit easier, especially during showtime and on extremely busy days. And look at this, at the Pirates queue, it looks like they've planted some new trees, so that's a really nice thing to see. I was so worried that those trees were gone forever and they weren't going to plant any new ones there, and it was just gonna be a really bad spot to get a sunburn. So thankfully they have planted some beautiful trees to provide some much needed shade in that particular section of the outdoor queue of Pirates of the Caribbean. And yeah, you can see how much they've shaved off from the old planter. So the old planter went right about here and they've shaved it off just a tad, which is nice because, hey, it still holds the charm that New Orleans Square is pretty much known for. I love this particular area of the park with the trees and of course the atmosphere. We have all the restaurants nearby and of course the music. So it's nice that they have fixed a little bit of a pinch point problem, but still have kept that aesthetic that we all love about this particular section of the park. All right, next up, we're gonna be making our way over towards It's a Small World because from that particular vantage point, we can get a really good view into, well, not a really good view, but somewhat of a good view into Toontown. But I did want to mention that over at the Royal Theater and Fantasy Fair, the shows are back. So yeah, if you wanna kick back and enjoy a little bit of a show, you can do so, because all that is finally back after so long. There was a little bit of a hiatus there. Made it over here to Small World where you can see just slightly over the tree line the work that is progressing relatively nicely on the facade for the attraction and of course the Toontown facade that hides that massive show building along the back side there. So yeah, they haven't really put any details up just yet, but we'll keep an eye on it every single week. And I'm sure we'll start seeing like really big details and some color maybe later on this year. Now over here at the Fantasyland Theater, crews are working on the new stage show that will be appearing here, The Tale of the Lion King. Now we saw a similar show over at California Adventure, but now the show has moved over here to Disneyland, and I think this is going to be a better spot for not only for the lighting and audio equipment that is available in the Fantasyland Theater, but also the visual equipment that is available on the stage. So it's going to be nice to have that show make its way over here and it be its new home for however long they're going to keep the show. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, that's pretty much everything over here at Disneyland. So let's jump ship over to California Adventure in a bit. Oh, time's changing. Made it over here to Paradise Bay and Pixar Pier, and look, they're setting up for World of Color. Of course, they have the dessert package over there. I'm gonna have to do that one of these days. I've never done the World of Color dessert party, and yeah, I think that would be a fun video to do. Also, they have the audio equipment up in the air. By the way, the company that supplied the speakers is called Meyer Sound, and they make some of the best speakers in the industry. So if you've never seen World of Color, get ready for the audio, because the audio is just brilliant. It is so good, and Meyer Sound makes really good speakers. So Disney has a really good relationship with them. A lot of the shows actually use the same speakers. There's more construction fences in the park. So these are in front of the Little Mermaid attraction. Don't worry, the attraction is still open. Looks like they're just doing some paving work in front of the ride. And with that, I think it's gonna do it for the updates at California Adventure. So let's close out the video, maybe go on a ride or two and have some fun. Future Dylan here. I forgot to film a closeout, but it's okay, so I'm gonna do it here at City Walk. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and smash the thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel and you love these videos and update videos from all over SoCal, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you stay up to date on every time I post a new one. I have an Instagram account. I'll leave that link down below in the description. Be sure to follow that, because I post updates there all the time that I don't normally post here on YouTube. And of course, a huge shout out to all my Patreon members. If you want to join the Patreon as well, I'll leave that link down below in the description. Yeah, I can't wait to come back to Universal to check up on the HHN mazes, and of course Disneyland again, because a lot's happening with the Tarzan's Treehouse project, so it's going to be really exciting to see over the next few weeks. And as far as its opening day, who knows, but I'll keep an eye on it for all of you guys. But until then, I hope you have a beautiful day, morning, evening, whatever it is, and I'll see you next time in the parks. Bye.